Yeah, we are about to be live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to a very special episode of the Hickory, the Drunken Under Quarantine show, presented to you by Woolen Mill Comedy Club. We hope you all out there are having a very, very good Memorial Day weekend, staying safe, keeping your distance up, keeping physical distance and interacting socially, I suppose. Very special episode tonight. We are going to an hour. We're also brand new co-hosts welcoming Mr. G.W. Foley to the show. And our guest tonight is none other than a very funny man who almost left us for Maine, but is back, Mr. Dickie B. So without further ado, we'll get the show on the road. Welcoming to the stage, due to technical difficulty, Mr. G.W. Foley.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let me just say this is my second time on the show, and I'm still not wearing pants. I think that's going to be a record that I'm going to try keeping. It's kind of freeing lately, not wearing pants. Just the amount of movement. Like, I'm like a ballerina now with my leg movements. Like, I never realized like it was my jeans that could actually like keep me from stretching as far as I can. I do have a gripe that I want to bring up, and hopefully people will understand it. The amount of women calling guys daddy, does anyone else find that creepy? I know I do, and it's like, I mean, it's permeating the porn I'm watching, and it's been to the point where like my girlfriend calls me daddy, and I have a problem with it, but I have found I have found a way to figure out how to get her to stop, and it's to call her mommy. And it's a little weird to start with, but you know, when she's doing the sexy talk, I'm like, yeah, mommy, don't you want me to rub you all over, mommy? And it's just, it's like having that giant like handicapped son who never quite grew up talking to you like that. And hopefully that works, but if not, we can always figure out another way. Like I can call her Sonny, be like, hey Sonny, come on, let me throw it inside you, Sonny. Something like that. But that's all I have for everybody. Let's bring it back to Hickory. And
thank you for being here, Mr. G.W. Foley.
Absolutely, man.
I'm glad you've joined the show full time. This is awesome.
I'm happy I joined full time too, and I can't wait to get that full time benefit package.
Oh, it's pretty fat. We're working on the health insurance portion, I gotta say. But yeah, if you wouldn't actually,
is it time to introduce?
It's a Christmas miracle. Unfortunately, our other co-host, who usually kicks off the show for us, was having some technical difficulties, but he's made it to the room. He is here. So we'll put him up next. We're going to move order around a little bit. This will be just fine. You know, that's the beauty of the live show. You never know what's going to happen. So introducing our next performer, my other co-host, founder of the Woolen Mill Comedy Club, the only comedy club in Vermont that's accessible by both kayak and snowmobile. That's a proud thing to say down here in Bridgewater, is that you can get to the comedy club via snowmobile. Is welcoming to the stage our next performer, Mr. Collen Doyle.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Happy Memorial Day. This is here on the back deck edition. Hope everyone's had a wonderful weekend. I know I have. I just started the Michael Jordan film there on ESPN that everyone's been watching. It's really good. And one of the things I noticed that's like a common theme is like all these athletes have like really late growth spurts. Like Michael Jordan was like 6'1", and then like in his like sophomore year of high school, and then by his like junior year, he was like 6'7". And Scottie Pippen was actually 6'1" when he started college, and like the next summer, he grew to be like 6'7", 6'1" to 6'7", like within like a year and a half. And I never had that second growth spurt. I just grew like really aggressively to like the age of 14 and then just stopped. I always wanted that like second growth spurt. And it's funny because that actually helps you with some things in sports, you know, like Michael Phelps. They had the thing with Michael Phelps. They were like, you know, Michael Phelps, he's got the upper body of someone 7'4", but the lower body of someone 6.5 feet tall. Like, I feel like if I got in a swim with him, I could like totally beat Michael Phelps, you know? And like after I beat him like several times, first of all, I could take way more bonk hits than he ever thought he could. And I'm also got better proportions, you know, because they would be like, Collen Doyle, he's got the lower body of someone 4 feet tall, but the upper body of someone 5.5. He's a human fish. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody's always attracted to tall men, right? Like that's like on the dream list of things with women, right? You know, it's like you gotta be tall, dark, handsome, funny. I'm like, I'm 3 out of 4, you know, that's not bad. You know? That's not bad, but it really seems like the height thing is like a big deal. And it's like, what is it? What is the deal with being tall? You know, like everybody loves like a tall man, you know, and it's like, why? Because, you know, you can reach things out of the top of the cabinet without getting on a step stool. Oh, that's cool. You know, or, you know, you can go into any department store and put a suit on, it fits because you're 42 regular and you don't have to have it tailored. Oh, that's cool. You know, I just don't get it. And, you know, the thing is about it is like, that is like the idea of like the tall, suave, smart businessman, right? It's like always like, you see all these like business professionals, they're all like tall men with the same like hairline, same haircut. And you're like, there's certainly a type here, but like, I don't know, like just because you're tall, like, are you any smarter? Like, I feel like, you know, everything's given to you if you're tall, you know, with me, nothing's given to me. You know how I had to do it? I had to use my fucking brain, right? I didn't just achieve what I did because I was tall. You know what I mean? I use my head along the way. You know, I feel like it's much more accurate in films. Like, you know, who else was really tall was that Lenny guy who kind of loved mice. And it was the short guy, George, who was like, Lenny, quit killing the mice. What's wrong with you? He's fucking head. You know, you always look at it. It's the Joe Pesci character. He's going, no, I'm not, you tall, stupid shit. You got to do it this way. Because when you're short, you got to be smart. You got to be street smart. When I like the tall guys who just get everything on a silver platter, you know? Getting worked up. I don't know what's going on. I'm broadcasting from the back deck here because this apparently has better Wi-Fi than in the largest commercial center in Bridgewater. So what are you gonna do? It's quite nice to show you guys. Like this is where I'm broadcasting from. Can this, you know, you gotta flip the camera like that. Well, I guess I could do it like that. Yeah, you know, there you go. Why wouldn't you expect that to have the best Wi-Fi? You know, it really just logical. Power. So, I feel like we've all gotten to know each other a little bit more this Memorial Day. But really excited to be here on the show. Super excited to see Dickie B. So I'm done ranting and raving. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad everything worked out there. Scary moment there. I was like, there was going to be the rumor mill was going to be starting that we didn't add GW, we just replaced you, and we didn't want that. We don't want those nasty rumors floating around about the Under Quarantine show.
Conveniently, Colin won't be here tonight.
I'm starting to take it personal.
But now that you are here, if you wouldn't mind introducing our next performer.
Is this our usual performer who follows me?
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be broadcasting from my back porch here in Bridgewater, bringing our next entertainer to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the only man who's ever disappeared off of the Bridgewater Bridge and lived to tell the tale, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming.
Woo!
Prepare to be amazed.
Brian Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming. Tonight, I'm here to show you a small feat of magic. Start with an old classic. Last week, Hickory didn't do a single card or a single performance that involved a pack of cards, and I got emails over the fact that due to Vermont state liquor law, if you call your show magic, you need to have a deck of cards involved. And secondly, we're like, a real magician does a card trick every time. So we're gonna bring the deck of cards back here. Have one of you fine fellows select a card. I'm gonna just riffle, say when.
When.
Okay, right there. And I'm gonna give you top there. It's gonna give you a good peek at your card.
Okay.
You guys can see that. We can register what that is.
And I shouldn't say it out loud, correct?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I've seen this trick before, but it adds to the magic. So everybody knows what that card was. And I'll just mix that bad boy right in here. And I'm gonna try something. You guys can see right here fine, right? That on the table.
Yes.
Okay. I just gotta make sure my framing's right. My beautiful assistant isn't out here to eat me right now. So what I'm gonna try to do. No. That's fucking trick. Yeah. I just. Oh. No, there we go. Okay. Now I think what you'll find is that your card is no longer in there because I made it vanish into the table.
It appears it is not in there.
Let me ask you, was that your card?
Yes, it was.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. This card is on the table, so I figured I'd show you something really cool with that real quick. You just put that in there. Little piece of beauty there.
Wow.
Here. Now we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this card thing again here. I'm just gonna riffle through and you say stop whenever you feel comfy.
Stop.
There. Is that a good card, or should we?
That's a perfect card.
Yeah.
Let's take a Sharpie. GW, it wouldn't be fair if you gave me like someone who's close to you or and a name that's easy to
Let's do Oscar.
Oscar.
That's my puppy.
You guys can see that written on there.
Yep.
Oscar. Okay. I want to give her a quick shuffle. I'm going to tell you guys about a little something that lots of magicians do. So now that your card is fairly lost in the middle of the deck, a lot of magicians do this thing where they would try to get a card to be facing the opposite way the rest of the deck is. And how they would do that is a quick little sleight. And a good magician, you'd never notice that Hickory the Drunken and Underwhelming isn't necessarily a good magician. What they would do is, they'd get that card in there face up, and they'd display the cards out, and your sleight would be face up, which would be great if I was that good. Just to show that these cards are still all face up. I'll show you how Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming does it. Takes out his trusty wand, and just taps it. I know you guys didn't see much happen there, but we'll spread these cards. So we find a card right there in the center.
Have Oscar's name on it.
Oh,
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming. We'll see you next week. Unbelievable. How about it, GW? He never ceases to underwhelm, does he?
I was feeling quite underwhelmed during that entire process.
The entire time, right?
Yeah, like it's amazing.
Unbelievable.
And I'm also feeling quite a bit drunk, so we have that going for me also.
A side effect of the magic, you know. It's so it's so intoxicating that I can't help it.
Yeah. I also feel like I'm having a hard time breathing. Maybe it's because of the mask.
Yeah. It sucks when you can't tell if it's coronavirus or the panic induced by the panic of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Made it real hard.
I'm short-winded. I feel like I'm going to pass out. Collen, take off your mask.
So I wanted to apologize for the fire alarm going off during your set.
No, right on time, GW.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was absolutely perfect. Oh, thank you so much, Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming. Let's hand it over to Collen. Collen, I was hoping you could introduce our special guest this evening.
I would love to. Our next guest is no stranger to the Woolen Mill Comedy Club. I'm sure if you've been to any of our shows, you hopefully have seen him perform there. He's an international man of mystery and a Renaissance man. In I think the most endearing sense of the word. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Dickie B.
Woo! How's it going? My name's Dick. This is the first time I've really communicated with other people in like 2 months. So thank you for this, first of all. The pandemic and the quarantine has got me a little loopy. I noticed that the longer that I stay home, the more I begin to look homeless. Like I haven't had a meaningful conversation with another human being in like this much beer to go, which is now a unit of measurement for me. I completely like, I will stay in the same clothes for 3 days straight. Like my breath smells like I gave head to a dragon. Like it is total decomposition. It's wonderful. I recommend it. And it's like bad enough, like going into this thing, I looked like a garden gnome that fought for the Confederacy, you know, like before. Now, like my acting roles for me are completely limited to like the Civil War and Middle Earth. Like, you need like a rapey dwarf king, I'm your man, but there's no leading roles for me. Yeah, I've been going nuts, man. I've been like, it's me and my toddler. I've been homeschooling like a preschooler, and I got a few recommendations for how post-corona society should function. And my biggest one is that Disney, for all the subliminal messages that they put in their movies, Disney needs to start putting subliminal messages in their movies for parents that say, hang in there, don't kill yourself, just another 25 times. Because, you know, we just watch a lot of fucking Disney. Oh, man. There's some positives to this whole thing. Yeah, positives. My in-laws canceled a trip up, which is great. My in-laws don't get it up here. You know, they're from southern New England, and they don't understand like how we live in Vermont. They always ask these like rhetorical questions, like, how do you do it? How do you live? You know, you're 45 minutes from everything, and it's like, well, you know, kind of. You know, I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm 45 minutes from anything. But the difference is when I leave my house, I go 50 miles an hour. I pass mountains and streams and fields and stone walls and Excuse me. But when you like downstate, when you like go anywhere, it takes 45 minutes. Or down southern New England, like you pull out of your driveway into traffic and you drive like 2 blocks and you watch a traffic light turn green and red and green and red, and some homeless guy comes up to you and asks if he could wipe your windshield for like $5, and you tell him to fuck off, because that's how people communicate down there. And so you pull up to the next traffic light and you watch it turn green and red and green and red, and that same homeless guy comes over and he jerks off on your windshield. So like at the next traffic light, when you watch it turn green and red and green and red, you got to pay that same homeless guy twice the going rate to wipe his own cum off your windshield before you get where you gotta go. I have like a seamless commute here, man. Like I love it up here. Completely seamless commute. Seamless commute is a weird thing to hear echo on, you know, on the airwaves. You know, not a common phrase, really, I think. But my in-laws don't get it up here. My mother-in-law asked one time, saw an ad for stump grinding nailed to the side of a tree, and she asked, "What stump grind? Is that a gentleman's club for veterans?" And I said, "No, no, it's not. We do have a VA hospital, a wonderful facility, but it's actually for trees." She said, "Oh." So they canceled their annual trip this year, and that's wonderful. What else is going on? My ex-wife moved out of her ex-boyfriend, I don't know, guy's apartment during this whole pandemic, and had to move in with her dad. And she couldn't take her cats, so she asked me to take her cats. So I now have 2 more cats to my plethora of cats. And my wife is taking it surprisingly well, right? And one of the cats can't like figure out where the litter box is, so he's just shitting and pissing in our bedroom and right in the corner. And my wife is like just taking in the cat like it's one of her own, and just like I'll walk in the room and I don't understand it. It's like some level 15 passive aggressive like white woman Jedi shit. Like I do, like I'll come in and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm just picking up some of the cat shit." Moushy, what, honey? Moushy, what's that, sweetie? Oh, I'm every time I pick up cat shit, I'm trying to learn how to say cat shit in a different language right now. That's how you say it in Mandarin. You know? Oh, look, another one. Este the gato. Species of the cat in Spanish. So that's like a really fancy way of saying cat. Feces of the cat. There are a lot of nouns that you could have fun with that. Semen of the wolf. It just sounds weird. Obviously, I've been in quarantine a while. It should show. Let's see what else is going on. Holy election, huh? We have the election's crazy, right? We've had a meaningful 21st century. We've had our first African-American president. We've had our first special needs president. And now, for like the first time in 1100 years, we have like 2 rapists like vying for the same chieftainship. Like that hasn't happened since like Ragnar Olafsson challenged Thorn Bjornsson for the chieftainship of like the plains of Umbral Hill or something. Like, and you know, I mean, obviously Trump is a lot like Thornton, you know, like Thornton, who used to raid the Volga every year. Trump also keeps a scantily clad Slavic bed slave that he parades around with him. And you know, that's far as the rapist community goes, I'm sure that's commendable. I'm sure that's like a wink and a smile, but Biden is hardcore. Like Biden sniffs the children of his enemies. Like, that guy, that's a different level of don't fuck with me. It's like I'm gonna go. What with that, and those are our choices, which is why I said for a long time, America is kind of like if you're rich, America's your whorehouse, but if you're poor or middle class, America's still your whorehouse. You just work there. All right, guys. That's me. I look forward to chatting with you guys shortly.
Dickie B, thank you for being on the show, my friend. It's really good to see you. It is fucking impressive, the massive amount of beard and hair that you've grown since the last time you crawled out of that little hole in the woods that you call home.
Oh, no, this is a North Country weave, my friend.
Right. I got to say, I think we are going to just call you our favorite rapey dwarf king here on out. That seems like a perfectly apt nickname.
Life goals, man.
I was thinking to add to your accoutrement of things. You could definitely play a really great, not like high level, but like a mid-level drug dealer on a Ozarks type show.
Okay, all right, I'll take that.
Also, a creepy guy who like watches the girls practice soccer on their high school team.
Yeah, I got experience there. I could do I could do a guy in a saloon.
Yes.
I could do that guy from Dances with Wolves, Spivey, that guy that Kevin remembers Spivey. Like I think I got killed taking a shit or something at Dances with Wolves.
Or just the
How do I know that? How did that stick with me for 25 years? Oh man, that's an interesting. Like that's never going to be on Jeopardy. Almost never.
Cool film.
Man was killed defecating in Dances with Wolves.
Obscure Jeopardy. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming out. The first hour-long episode of Woolen Mill Comedy Club presents the Hickory the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Like to start by asking Dickie B. You said you're going stir crazy, but how is Corona time treating you, my friend?
Dude, I'm going mad. And the thing is, I hate people to begin with, and I'm sure like everyone has done everyone beat me to that bit, I'm sure, but for like a misanthropic hermit, I'm surprising like that. Maybe it's just that 2 minutes of like person to person hate that I need to exert every day that I'm not able to get out. But it's cool, man. I'm hanging out on the farm with my kid. I'm living the dream. Other than the fact that there's a plague and I'll probably die like in a couple of months. But that aside, I mean, things are going really well.
At this point, though, if you die, it's because you will have used something poisonous to wipe your ass with.
Yeah, absolutely. Down to Clorox wipes.
Well, you should have labeled that, not the wet ones.
It's just a Darwin Award,
Yeah. Man bleaches his own asshole with Clorox lemon wipes.
I'm gonna get a bleach bidet pretty soon.
I was gonna say it wouldn't be a bad thing to pinken things up, maybe just a little bit.
No.
And that way you could do your rapey dwarf strip set once we get back to being able to get back to strip clubs.
Yeah. Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, no one's even talked about that. What's the timeline on the strip clubs?
I don't know. I don't know why they can't just put up a plexiglass box and open them right now.
Very, very good.
There's only one box I want to see, and it's not plexiglass. I'm sorry.
I know that Missouri has drive-through strip clubs right now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which seems like a great idea.
Wonderful. You don't have to wear the mask.
No. You're in the privacy of your own vehicle.
You can just huck change out like a toll booth.
Pierre and I have
This is
joked
going to have
about
devastating
that.
effects on the swinger community, I will say.
Yeah, actually, the New York CDC or whatever they call their mini CDC over there put out a brochure about a month and a half ago stating that you shouldn't be attending orgies right now.
Wow. Thank you
which-
very much, CDC.
To which I was devastated.
They were like, if you do, it's just groups of under 8, all right? All right, keep it to 8 or less, all right?
Just imagine 7 grown men and 1 haggard woman all sitting in a room with masks on, like trying to figure out how to drink champagne through a mask.
Apparently, we're going to have to wait on this, according to the CDC.
There's nothing wrong with the bukkake party. She wants a mask, we'll give her a mask.
Put some goggles on her, it should be fine.
Yeah. Wasn't that the same document that said sex is okay, but you shouldn't be kissing?
There it is.
That's just saying what I've known for like 20 years now.
Yeah. I mean,
I figured that was a baseline. Maybe you can comment since you've lived in New York, Colin, but I thought that was just par for the course.
That's hilarious. Dickie's like, I started practicing that years ago. Intimacy just sounds dangerous at this point.
do you know how hard it is to flex a mirror when you're trying to kiss somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, I can't see myself right now. I'm sorry.
Let's move this camera just a little bit. All right, perfect. I like how this took a really awkward turn.
It basically became Pierre's quarantine show because the last few episodes I've watched that it was all sex questions and rope play, and I got to be honest, I was kind of jealous of how his show was going. So this is a perfect segue. And
yeah, you hear this, Pierre? We're hot on your tail, all right? Don't get too comfortable with the weird stuff, Pierre, all right? We ain't afraid to go there, buddy.
I don't know. Like, so being home all day, every day, and out in the backyard, I see things that happen in my yard that I wouldn't normally see, right? Because I'm not there. And I watch the behavior of like our goats and our chickens and our ducks, and they're all sexual predators. It's like I feel like my entire yard is like just a giant like basement dungeon. I'm gonna get redneck on here. Had a fox pick off a couple of our ducks, and so our male to female ratio is disproportionately male.
oh,
And we have a goose, that one lone female goose that believes that she is, I'm going to slide back into my normal voice here, that believes that she is like the sex referee. And so she like gets down on the mat, like right when my ducks are mating. And she's just just like, yeah. And I like, this has happened in my yard like every day. And so sometimes it's cool, you know, after a couple of beers, I'll just go out there and watch the show. But other times it's a little disturbing.
Everyone needs somebody like that with like that goose. Like someone be like, "Come on, buddy, you got this."
Yeah.
So you're plowing away.
Yeah. Or maybe she's just like, no, stay strong. Stay strong. All you need to do is survive. And good for her if she does.
Yeah.
But this is like one of the, when you know, like I just visited my sister in Burlington, you know, and of all the activity in Burlington and everything, she has a pair of cardinals. And they're like outside, and I'm like, oh, wow, what a beautiful cardinal. And she's like, yeah, they're mating. And I'm like, how do you know that? And he's like, oh, well, I've been watching them. I'm like, oh, so this is what your life has come to, is you're literally pouring a cup of coffee, going to your window, and you're like, this is a beautiful thing right there. What a way to start the day. Just thinking, another future generation of Cardinals on its way. Like you have become old. I'm sorry.
My goats are prison gay. I have to say, I want to get that out there. I think the world needs to know.
Gay for this day.
Yeah, it's. I've had to explain that one to my daughter. This is not wrong way to learn about. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's a good. Well, sometimes boys and other boys, and I mean, the cage plays an effect in this scenario, but normally that's just a normal thing. It's not a big deal.
They always said boys will be boys, right?
But yeah.
And then that's where Dickie just goes, yep.
My parenting technique is drinking.
Yeah. Of course, that's 9 o'clock in the morning, and what he's sipping on is a heady IPA.
I hope you guys are having a good Memorial Day weekend. I found that Memorial Day is a weird holiday and that you can't use the phrase like, you can't say happy Memorial Day because it's not a holiday that you should be, happy about. It's kind of like Columbus Day is very much the same thing with that. And like you can't say happy Columbus Day anymore. People will just be like, oh, you know what, Hickory, Columbus was nothing but he was just a conquering Spaniard. And that's when I have to chime in and be like, he was actually an Italian who worked for the Spanish. So get your fucking history right before you critique a man's credentials, okay?
Yeah, how about them?
Secondly, I was just trying to compliment you on your fucking 3-day weekend, asshole. How about
that? Hickory, I got a quite technical question. Is the camera bouncing around, or is the camera stuck on Dickie?
No, it's we are all 4 even squares right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just staring at Dickie. Like, he has pretty eyes.
Yeah, I've just been looking at Dickie's beard for the last 20 minutes.
I forgot about that. I forgot to unspotlight him, but we've been in speaker view, so there's 4.
Yeah, this is all above my my pay grade. I don't know anything.
Oh, believe me, if it was just stuck on one person for the whole conversation, the beautiful assistant would be out here screaming at me.
Okay.
You're doing it wrong again, Hickory.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You should have been on.
Yeah.
You didn't even send a card for me.
If that was true, at least it was focused on the guest and not like the empty set.
Yeah, it wasn't my empty performance camera.
Yeah, exactly. God damn, these guys got some technical difficulties to work out.
Which, by the way, I gotta say, like that empty camera on its own just kind of looks like you're waiting for a cam girl from like the Ukraine to get back into picture.
That's actually where I host my OnlyFans from, by the way. You want to see Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming's massive, beautiful wand. You just go over there. You can find me on Chatterbait. I'll pretty much perform for anybody who throws money at me.
I feel like if I was like hired to like be broadcasting this to like a public access, that's the first move I would do. Like the first week, just like leave camera A just rolling on a blank set for 25 minutes, and then be like, look, this is what entry level pay looks like. Now,
imagine what we could do.
Yeah, if I actually switched to camera B.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it'd be like the worst podcast picture ever, right? It's just 3 comics and a drunk magician talking to the scene of an empty table,
looking at his
party
table.
on it.
Occasionally the cat shows up.
Yeah. Oh, we got the cat in frame.
You're so avant-garde. Are you kidding me? We'd win awards.
Like, wow, I thought this was going to be a show, but it turned out to just be a podcast with a weird picture.
Don't you get it? The camera is meant, the focus on the picture, that one shot is just meant to represent their sadness.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're filming an independent German film.
Oh, Chowser.
Oh.
We haven't talked to you in a bit. How's old Vegas going down there, GW? Everything all right?
I hate the fact that, like, if I forget my mask and still need to go into the store, people stare at me like I'm an asshole. It's like, I get it. Maybe I should be wearing one. But once again, you're the one who's 3 feet away from me. So you back the fuck up.
Fair enough, my friend. I'm running into some awkward instances in stores that don't have any floor markings where people don't know how close they should get to me. And I don't know if it's that I'm wearing the mask and they're a little bit nervous about that, or it's that my shorts are too short. Because it's been
Great natural defense.
For some reason, I'm not blending in. I got out this past weekend went to Burlington, and it was Friday. They lifted the outside seating thing, so you could actually dine outside. So
wow.
I went out for the first time in like 3 months. It was really nice, but it's funny, like everyone's wearing the mask and everything. I think it's so funny how like we all thought we were so like ahead of the curve and clever with the Apple Face ID, like face recognition. And now it's like everyone's like got mask on, they're like Face ID, and it's like I don't know who you are, and that's not working. But yeah, I don't know. Like most people who like work there like had masks on, and then they were saying like as a patron you could or could not wear your mask. Which if you're like eating, you're probably not gonna have the mask on. Just assuming.
You just got to cut a hole in there.
Just gotta pull it up and then eat.
That makes the whole thing as effective as thoughts and prayers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we get the orgies back open, though. It's like, but I was wearing a mask. I mean,
have you guys seen the knitted crocheted mask that people are wearing?
I did.
I just want to be like, that's you. Just throw a piece of Swiss cheese on your face and call it good.
What is it?
Well,
it's a crocheted, like a mask made out of yarn.
It's a crocheted mask that's not even as dense as my hat. I mean, it's open. There's holes all through it. I saw a guy working in a store. He walked over like that. He had a croquet on his face. And of course, he didn't have it over his nose, just his mouth. And I'm like, you corona spreading son of a bitch, you. What is wrong?
Him. Good for you. You shamed him.
But I've seen some of those, and to be fair, there are some of those crocheted masks that are meant to put a replaceable filter in. You know what I mean? Like they're meant to go over an N95 so you don't look like you just got off the job site spray painting down a car.
That's the mask I wore. It had some paint on it.
They're going to start making like thong masks pretty soon.
My favorite is the people who have them down underneath the nose.
Yeah.
I saw a great meme that wrapped it up the other day where it had a picture of somebody and they had a mask on up to here and their nose was sticking out. And it's like, if you think this is how a mask should be properly worn, and then the next image was a guy with his underwear with his dick just flopping over the top of him. It's like, this is probably how you wear your underwear if you think that's how a mask is supposed to go. I was like, that's perfect.
I was
and then I tried wearing my underwear like that, and it was not a good time.
I was in the pharmacy the other day, and I was waiting in line to pick up my drugs, and this guy had a mask on, but every time he went to talk, he pulled it down. I'm like, you fucking retard.
It kills me. It kills me. Like, how do people not know?
It's so true because I asked her server, I was her first server. I'm like, I'm sorry. And like trying to normalize the whole experience, which is, of course, like first time, like dining out, it is weird, all the protocol and all the stuff that they have you going through. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what was your name? And she's like, my name is James. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Seth, what was it? She's like, and then she goes like this, I'm sorry. And she takes her thing off, finally say her name, which was the only way of articulating. But I'm just like, that's, I think, what, like, I'm hopeful, but, you know, I think that that's basically what everyone's impulse is to do. It's like, you can't articulate, nobody can understand you. And at a certain point, you're going to rip the mask off and be like, this is what I'm saying.
That's why if I think you have a name that is more than 2 syllables, just tell them a false name, man. like what she should have done is been like, it's Tom.
Yeah. It's number 7. How are you?
Like, if that chick with 7 syllables isn't going to wear a name tag.
Yeah. Or the name tag. That's a good point.
At least have the respect to shorten it down from Raquelin to Ray. You know? Give me a 1 syllable, and that way, even if I don't hear it properly and I call you Tay all night, fuck it. Just go with it. You're wearing a mask. You know, there's some chick trying to make her living during Corona time. Good Lord.
And I don't know what her name is, but I called her Ray.
I had a friend who went and finally got a haircut in New Hampshire.
Holy shit.
And all I could think was like, so do they make you hold your mask on when they're going around the back of your ears?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck does that work?
I thought that too.
And obviously,
and then Dickie thought. Then his next thought was, "I don't get my hair cut.
Yeah,
so
I don't do these things.
I neither shave nor cut my hair, so that doesn't matter to me."
He's like, I had another year to go anyways. Might as well just ride this thing out.
I wanted to be prepared, is all.
Need to blend in with the Sasquatch, you know, in case.
That's right.
I got my hair cut this weekend. My sister did it for me.
Nice.
It looks
Hippity
lovely.
pop. Hey, you know, sometimes you got to go to the source.
Yeah, I had a beautiful assistant cut back my hair the other day.
I was gonna say, what you got here, Hickory? You got a little mohawk going on over there?
Oh yeah, that was Hickory decided a mohawk was a great idea when he could deadlift 500 pounds, and with the gyms closed the past 2.5 months, I had a hard time picking up my kayak to put it on top of the car today.
Thought to myself, time for the mohawk.
Like, oh shit, I'm gonna be this week. I gotta shave it soon. I was feeling like Chuck Liddell, and and now it's like, oh god, I'm like one of those emo kids from Good Charlotte or something. That's what I feel like. It was like
a thyroid problem.
I was saying I got to keep the beard at this point because if I don't, I'm just gonna look like an overweight lesbian.
No, even with the beard, man.
I dig it.
I finally caved. My plan was to grow the beard for the full Quarantino, and then I finally caved. But I really wish I just gone like 6 months. You know what I mean? I've never just had the epic, just like,
yeah.
How you like them apples, huh?
Yeah.
As someone who has had a beard like that, it's so I don't find it worth it. Like, I like my shit like tightened, and right now, like I'm way too bushy, and I'm waiting for things to actually open. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks though. Like, I'm not gonna go right off because everyone and the brother's gonna be there. So I figured they'll get the coronavirus first. I'll wait until like some of the hairdressers die, then go in, because then I know I have the healthy ones.
My beautiful assistant just set up an appointment for a haircut, and like the hairdresser or the whatever she's like a salon dominatrix or something, and that girl's like booked out through like the second week in June already. There's
Holy
like
shit.
so many people have been calling it. Well, that and they're only doing like 4 or 5 a day because they're spacing them out and cleaning down everything and, you know, trying to do the great thing about it. But it also creates a situation where it's like they used to turn and burn a haircut every 15 or 30 minutes.
You know, I don't get it because it's like, you know, again, we can all go buy a new kayak at Walmart.
Yep.
but we can't get our hair cut. You know what I mean? It's
You
like,
go stand in a line of 50 people at Home Depot for
yeah, but God forbid someone and if when you get your hair cut and everything, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, it's a fairly sterilized procedure already. Like all of the utensils are sterilized. That blue chemical that's sitting on that thing, it ain't like Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? It's like that is some type of sanitizing chemical on everything. And like, right, it's like we gotta think about this. I think about this here. It's just like I don't get it.
Oh, maybe that stuff is the cure, and we just don't know about it yet.
I was thinking we should inject it. We should definitely get it. I like the way it smells. I think we should cook it up and inject it. I mean, there's no, clearly, right?
The benefit is you don't really need to cook it to sterilize it because it's already sterile.
Yeah.
Cuts to a guy just
up.
drinking a jar with scissors and combs in it.
Just missed ourselves with it too.
Yeah.
I like the way that stuff smells, so I'd be okay with that.
I'm gonna bring it back real quick. Colin, you were talking about facial recognition on phones, and all I could think was it's kind of the double whammy though, because we've gotten to a point where you can unlock your phone via face recognition. We can also unlock it with your fingerprint. And when you're wearing gloves, that shit doesn't work either. And I've run into multiple times lately.
It's like, for the next wave.
I have to remember the PIN number to unlock my goddamn phone right now. Like, what is this, 92?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, like a scrotum print is the wave of the future.
Only way we're gonna get through this.
They're gonna invent a new zipper just for scanning. That's the only way. It's the new security.
Bill Gates was saying that last night. We all gotta scan our balls, and then something about you can track us better. I don't know.
Taint match verified.
Oh man, my scrotum match isn't working. It's too cold in here. Come on, someone help me warm these up. They need to look fuller.
Or it'll be like the fingerprint scanner when you get your finger a little bit wet and that thing doesn't work. It'll be like that with your balls. You won't be able to scan it all summer.
It doesn't look anything like it did in April.
You just come to peer pressure and shave your balls, and it's just like, oh no, this one's too clean.
Oh, thank you guys. This has been fun.
Yeah, this has been fun. I just pulled a tick off my leg.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, let me see if I can show it to you guys. I don't know, you probably can't see it.
Oh yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really worried because I got bit by a tick this past week and it was like really bad, right? Like this thing was so bad that by the time I ripped it out, it took a chunk out of my leg, which is like, they don't usually get Lyme, like the bigger ones. It's the small ones you'll never notice, apparently are the ones that make you the most sick. But I'm like, now I'm waiting for Lyme disease so I could like start sweating and feeling feverish and short of breath. And like people be like, Colin, are you okay? And be like, I'm sorry, I just feel so warm. Like, you COVID-19. Like, I swear to God, it's Lyme disease. Like, you don't get it. Like,
Colin will be the only one with corona with the Lyme. That used to be every person's spring Memorial Day dream was to have corona with Lyme. And now it sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, now I didn't realize I'd have that in the emergency room.
Oh, getting towards the end here. Anything that Colin you'd like to say before we go? Any plugs for upcoming anything?
Well, I would just like to say that I hope everybody stays tuned. We're gonna try to get up and going as soon as we can in a safe and whatnot manner. But there's been some talks about seating of 25 people and less. So I think as soon as we can kind of okay that number, we'd love to try to accommodate maybe groups with that at the Woolen Mill. So stay tuned if anybody hears or knows any more or what pass it along. But yeah.
And please follow us on Facebook at Woolen Mill Comedy Club. keep updated not only with this show and things that Hickory's doing, but also we'll be blasting out as soon as we can get an in-person show together. It'll be great. And who knows, we might even have some of our shows, this show, live at the comedy club where people can come be a studio audience and do that type of thing. So it's exciting to see what the future looks like after Corona times soft finished, we'll say. Who fucking knows at this point? G-Dubs, anything pressing, my friend? Anything you'd like to let the fine people of Facebook and the world know?
Follow me on Twitter at Foley Kills, Instagram at Foley Kills. Find me at GW Foley on Facebook. I'll friend you. Don't worry.
You need a friend.
I need more friends. Like, everyone's like unfriending me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
You posted too many albums, sir.
This album never
You didn't give a damn description for why you loved any of them. I'm upset.
There's just these random albums on your page.
Dickie B, my friend, thank you for being with us. This has been a wonderful episode.
Super glad to see you guys. Know you're well, and the hundreds of millions of viewers that are out there. It's good that you're able to tune in and support live comedy, as contrived as that may be at this time.
As live as we can be.
Yeah, as live as we can be. That would require cocaine. And
where's my vial?
So I was gonna, Collen and I had talked about putting together. I was gonna do like a historical comedy lecture series at the Mill. I just started putting some stuff together, and then we had a plague, so that kind of tabled that. So look for something like that. I'd say follow me on this or that, but I generally hide from the world. So this is don't bother, I guess. Follow Collen, he'll tell you where to see it. And other than that, it's just great to see you guys. Be well, everybody. And
the best way to find Dickie is to Google dick pics.
Yeah. I mean, or just blow like a rapey dwarf Viking horn, like a Viking horn, and I'll come out with the body of a centaur, and I'll.
God, I told myself I wouldn't get hard nipples during this show, but you have just
body of a centaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't shown you my. That's another way that Corona has affected me. I've morphed into a centaur.
Dickie B would be the only centaur with a female lower body with just teeth swaying, but somehow it would still have be hung like an elk. It'd be incredible.
Oh man.
Anyways, that's about it for this show. I really appreciate everybody coming and joining us. Big thanks to Jessica who commented, to my friend Mandy, to Kevin for watching the show, for Evan and Tel commenting. I really appreciate everybody coming out, supporting the show. Please email us at hickorytdau@gmail if you have any questions or comments that you want us to deal directly on the next episode. Please follow Ball, GW, Dickie B, Woolen Mill Comedy Club, and the Hickory the Drunken Underworldling page. We will have another 1 hour episode for y'all next Monday at 6 o'clock. Next week, our guest is the wonderful Mr. Ryan Kenyon. Very excited to see him and see how he's progressing through all this bullshit. And thanks everyone for coming out. I'm Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. As always, remember to stay drunk, stay underwhelming, and stay safe. Thank you, everybody.